If Adin is like just a streamer, then he should say whatever the wants. But if Adin has kind of become, in some ways, people view him as like the face of Kick and shit, or like part of like the representation of Kick. I don't think him trashing like Mizkif or Hasan, you know, regardless of how I feel or you feel or anybody feels about any of them, I think it's just a really, really bad. It's like it's such an unnecessary dramatic fight to start that, yeah, I don't know. I think it's bad, in my opinion, but.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be very, very bad. Like, there is no curiosity of what's gonna happen. A lot of shit gonna go down. I don't want to put you on the spot or make you feel uncomfortable. So if you don't want to answer, no need to. But are there any things that Rumble has that you wish Kick had that I could, you know, go tell the dev team, implement it? Like, is there anything that they have that we don't, that you would like to see here?
There's only 2 streamers that are banned from Kick. Mizkif, you can't come. You're not coming to Kick, bro. I'm sorry, you're not coming, bro. Me and Brucey don't want you here. You're not coming. That's first of all. Fuck you. Suck a dick. Hasan, you're not invited either. I'm gonna be honest, bro. You're not coming. Those 2 are banned. Okay? They cannot come. Pokemon is. I got no problem with Pokemon.
Oh, listen. Can I say some random shit?
Yeah.
You need to make Adin shut the fuck up and not ruin Kick's reputation on saying some wild, personal, retarded shit. Okay, it's not good.
What are you referring to exactly?
I personally, so in my personal opinion, if Adin is like just a streamer, then he should say whatever the wants. But if Adin has kind of become, in some ways, people view him as like the face of Kick and shit, or like part of like the representation of Kick. I don't think him trashing like Mizkif or Hasan, you know, regardless of how I feel or you feel or anybody feels about any of them, I think it's just a really, really bad. It's like it's such an unnecessary dramatic fight to start that, yeah, I don't know. I think it's bad, in my opinion, but.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I think seeing him as the face of Kick is.
That's the problem. He's almost like I don't know if he's like an official position, but he's almost like a brand ambassador for Kick. And he's out here telling like Hasan to kill himself and shit. And listen, I'm all for bullying Hasan. Okay, but like not as like a representative of Kick. It's just like, yeah, it's like a really, really edgy. It's like, it's just unnecessarily divisive in an era where every platform is like cutthroat competition, trying to pick up stuff as much as possible. And it's like, it seems like unnecessary heat. But I don't know, it's just my look on it.
Yeah, I appreciate the input. I mean, yeah, I mean,
Have you, do you see all those Twitch changes? Jesus.
Yeah.
I finally think, yeah, I'm giving a time frame now on it. I think within a year, I feel like Twitch Prime is going away. I think within a year.
Oh, easily. The numbers back it up for 1 to 2 years. Like, unless, I don't know if they're changing they're trying to change the trajectory with these stupid ass backwards policies. Like I wonder if they know what you just said, and they're trying to do some wild shit to keep that, because they know that is going to be 100 times worse losing that than any policy they implement, even though, you know, they're so out of touch they can't realize the things that they're dismissing for the keeping of Twitch Prime, assuming that the speculation is correct, are just as bad. So it's just like, I don't know what bro, I really don't, I mean, I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But ever since Dan Clancy came on board, it seems to be like, here's what I'm getting from it. The dude has made clear who his favorite streamers are, right? He's said it out loud. He's, you know, in my opinion, when you're in a position that he is, you can't be, you know, to me, that's somebody that is, he's too involved and out of touch. You understand? Like, it's good to be involved, but he's involved in the wrong ways. And I know people will call this bias, completely biased, but I don't know.
I mean, I don't think, regardless of him being involved or not, I think the issue is that I think Twitch as a company, it feels to me like they've bloated really heavily. every single streamer, ex-employee, current employee that I've talked to seems to agree that the internal structure of Twitch is a fucking nightmare, that the sprawl of the company has gotten out of control, and their primary products or services, like, they just feels like they have almost no focus on them anymore. Like, when was the last update to Twitch that like a streamer cares about? Like, I think we've been stuck. I'm banned. I think Twitch streamers have been stuck at the same bandwidth and resolution that they had like in 2013 on Twitch. Are you still capped at 6 megabits per second or whatever for streaming?
It's still capped over there. The quality is not as good.
Yeah, so you're at 6 megabits per second, 1080p streams, which isn't even enough for a true 1080p. No DVR feature. Or I'm sorry, it's A8. We are capped at 8, which it's been for like 10 years. So 8 megabits per second, no DVR features. Like, like what's happening? I like that primary, which is what Twitch is streaming first. That's what it is all about. Like, hasn't been changed in like a decade. What the fuck else is that company doing? Like, it's just insane to me.
Well, the first thing that they need to tackle are the sub splits. Like I know this has been a talking point for a while, but that's the first thing that needs to be tackled. Subsplits are like, you can talk to Devin Nash or whatever numbers guy you trust, and the numbers back that what they earn from subscriptions is it's minuscule. It's not even putting a dent into anything. Like, that's a result of pure greed and stupidity. Like, that alone should show the people where their mind is, like where
I don't understand. It's not even greed, it's stupidity, because like you said, they're not making that much money off of subscription, so I don't know why you would ever dip into that. You have to work on building your ad network out and everything more.
Yeah, and the ad network is, I'll be honest, like unless you're XQC, Hasan, or whoever else has that pure 50-50 ad contract, everyone's getting ripped off on ads as well. Like, the problem is no one, like, everyone's contract is right there in front of their faces. If you just go to your dashboard on onboarding, you see your contract. No one ever reads it and sees that whoever has ads is getting fucked, including myself, right? Like, it's so from every angle, people are getting fucked. The problem is they've cornered the market and they've monopolized it. So that, until now, what we're trying to change up, which is going to take longer than now. It's going to take at least 36 months to really get into real competition. But they're just doing whatever the they want. Like, everything that is, I don't want to get into that rant, but everything that, a socialist's nightmare is Twitch currently. Like, I'm going to say it straight up. Like a real socialist nightmare is Twitch currently. Do you understand that? Like that's just the truth. Call it bias, call it, Train hates this, rent free. No, that's facts. Like, a real socialist nightmare is exactly what Twitch is doing right now as we speak. That's just my opinion. I don't know. They're just behaving in a stupid way. They're greedy. The creators over. And they're still doing more and more. You would think they would announce one like terrible thing and then it gets better. No. One terrible thing, the next thing's even more terrible. Then the next thing's even more terrible. Like, what? Who's running that shit? Motherfucker, a different universe. It's just wild.
Yeah. I don't know what to say. It's pretty insane. Yeah. Well, anything else?
Yeah, let's continue the conversation on. What was I going to bring up? Your earlier topic. I don't know. The first question you asked. I think. Yeah. I think, I think it's,
okay.
Yeah. That's,
fair. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's the, I think, there needs to be, I think, what you said is correct, right? If he wants to be the face, or if he wants to be, if he wants to go around telling people that, he's at an official position, then I think he needs to be smarter. Let's put it that way, right? But if you just want to, like you said, if you just want to be the streamer, the big streamer of Kick, and not kind of, you know, put yourself in that official position, then I think, hey, do what you want. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, obviously, like you said, some of the things are a little too far. And I'll definitely talk to him about that. But I'm just, bro, I'm at a point right now, you know, I don't know. I'm so fed up. I know it's a little like, maybe I'm letting my irrational, you know, maybe I'm being irrational. I don't know. But for example, look at this Nick Merckx stuff. Have you seen what's going on with Nick Merckx?
Yeah.
With what he said?
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on that?
I'm trying to remember. He had a tweet reply to something over people fighting in the street.
Yeah, it was like pro LGBT supporters versus anti LGBT. It was something like that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said we should just leave the little children out of it. That's what he said.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about that? Like, not what he said. Like, ignore the content of what he said. What I'm saying is, like, do you feel like we've reached the time where there is one primary talking point, and whether it be right or wrong, like, I think the way we've kind of came into everything, it seems listen, let me backtrack real quick and just say what's on my mind instead of just, you know, being vague.
Okay.
So right now, politically speaking, right, these lefties or extreme left or however you want to, you know, regard, or however you want to regard them as, right?
Mm-hmm.
They believe they're the good guys, okay? But what's going on is they're forcing beliefs, talking points, and ways of life onto others through force, through you know, threatening careers, threatening, like, to me, that is not the role of a bad guy. That's not the role of a good guy. If they were truly the good guys, you teach, you're patient, do you understand? You don't threaten, you don't use cancel culture, you know, where others can't even think differently. You have to make people understand. It's a long process. It takes a long time. That's why a lot of these, like, antics that I see these days, they just feel disingenuous. They feel like power grabs, clout grabs. It doesn't feel like people are looking for actual change, like good change. Because good change comes from teaching, being patient, and the people actually understanding. Right now, all that's happening is people are forced to think a way because their career is on the line. People are forced to think away because something very serious could happen to them. That doesn't breed understanding. That doesn't breed peace. That breeds war always. Because at one point the pendulum swings and you didn't actually shift anyone. You only forced them to think a certain way. So I don't like this way that we've come into where no one can even question, why do I have to think this way? Even if it's the right way that the other side's telling you to think. People should be able to question it, learn, understand through trial and error. You understand, like, these things are the necessary things, in my opinion, to actually breed real understanding and real change and real open-mindedness. Does that make any sense? So I really don't like this thing where no one can have a countering opinion or can say, you know what, listen, I have no hate toward that group. The thing along those lines, but like, there has to be that area. Like, I don't believe in that, but people should be able to, you know, speak their mind, and then through that, you help them understand why that's wrong, right? And even then, that will take time for them to understand why that's wrong. But to force them, it's dividing more than it's bringing together. So I'm really getting fed up with these, like, antics and tactics that, you know, that side is using to, you know, in the name of open-mindedness and equality. Does that make any sense? Or am I just totally crazy?
No, I mean, there's two sides to the story, but I mean, like, I understand, obviously. I'm not a big fan of the hardcore, like, bully people into believing you and everything. Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with that. But then obviously on their end, you know, their issue is that, you know, a lot of these people's lives are being turned into battlegrounds for political issues, and they're not even able to pursue or live the lives that they personally would want to live because other people are trying to use the government to stop them. So they have their feelings about it too, right?
Yeah. I would love to hear the other side, like from an actual, from someone that's in it, from someone that's not, using it to play a, to further their political position or whatever the hell, someone that's actually real, that's in there, that's, I'd want to hear that side from them, because I feel like that would be more understanding. I feel like I would rather, not relate in a way where I could like relate personally, but relate in a way where I could put myself in their shoes and be like, okay, you know what? Like that makes sense. Right now, like what you just said was exactly correct. Like people are just using this to, further their political aspirations, and it just feels...
Well, not just political aspirations, but their lives too, right? Like if you've spent your entire life feeling like you've got a medical condition that you aren't allowed to alleviate, and now you've got people that are literally fighting to make it impossible for you to do so. They're making legislation so that, like medically, it's now illegal for you to try to fix these problems. Then, I mean, obviously they're going to feel like they need to fight back with everything they have as well.
Are you referring to, the testosterone therapies and the things that kind of... You're referring to that kind of stuff, that the transitioning?
Yeah, basically,
things? Yeah, I'm in support of people having that. The thing is, I think I really do believe there should be a... I haven't done my research, so I really shouldn't talk about this, because let me actually ask you before assuming. Is this something that if you wanted to do, it is necessary to do at a young age? Or is it something that you could do at age 18 or 19 when you're a little older and you have a little bit better understanding, your brain's developed a little bit more? Not saying that your brain's underdeveloped, that people who make those decisions are, underdeveloped brains. I'm just saying, like, when you're younger, you might do things that,
I
the older you disagree with.
It's a difficult catch-22 because you want to wait for people to be older and mature and not make dumb decisions, but the issue is that it kind of does have to be done at like a younger age for like trans women, right? That like if you think about like people that are disrespectful or mean to trans people, like who are they usually bullying? Usually they're bullying trans women, and the reason why they're usually bullying trans women is because trans women had to go through puberty as a man, which gives you a whole bunch of features that once you've gone through puberty are almost impossible to get rid of. Like if you've gone through male puberty, depending on the type of man you are, it's really, really, really impossible. Like, like Tabor, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, like if he could do all the HRT he wants, but like that dude is huge, broad shoulders, like no amount of drugs are going to change him to make him look like a woman, So depending on the type...
Is that just an example, or is he transitioning?
No, I'm sorry. That was just a random example. I was just pointing out a masculine person. Sorry, no, he's not doing anything.
Okay.
No, yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, in general, like, if you're a man and you go through like a very masculine puberty, it's going to be really hard to turn the clock back on anything like that.
Yeah, makes sense. It's just, that's...
But then I agree with you. I mean, like, we have to find... you have to be really, really, really sure on who's going to transition in, because you don't want kids making bad decisions, because it's... Depending on what you do, it could be hard to turn the clock back on that later on. This is why people tend to push, like, maybe not for full-on hormone replacement therapy, but at least for, like, puberty blockers for kids to give them, like, a year or two more to figure it out. Which might be good, it might be bad. I don't know. We're waiting for more research, but...
Yeah, I guess it becomes more of a philosophical topic as well, when you think about, like... when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to identity, gender, things like this, like, you could get philosophical with it as well. What I mean by that is, I wanted to bring up the example, when I was that age, I didn't know who I was. I thought I was 100 different things, right? And only when I got older, I realized, all 100 were wrong, right? Like, I was wrong about all 100, like what an idiot I was, I didn't know. But I guess this goes deeper into that. Like, is it on that level, or is it a deeper level? Like, is it a intrinsic thing where do you understand what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, of course, yeah.
So it comes down to that. Once you figure that out, that's when you can, I think, set that age limit. First, you have to figure out, because I don't know, it's tough, and it's very fucking dangerous in my opinion, especially with some of the things going on right now where it's one thing to create an environment that's safe for everyone, that protects these people, but it's another thing to kind of, and this is where I think people are kind of getting scared, the parents and people who are maybe out of our generation who are older. It almost feels like it's gone from creating a safe space and protecting marginalized people, or protecting these people, to full on like advertising it as, do you understand? So people who may be confused, who may not know, like other people who might be younger know, they might be swayed, right? So like I think that's where the misunderstanding is coming from. But the problem is you can't even say what I just said without being labeled, you know, transphobic, homophobic, and 6 other phobics. And that's what I have an issue with today's times. You can't like actually get the information if you don't understand, right? You can't question. You have to just accept, move on, or I mean, maybe I'm being dramatic. Maybe I'm only talking about a small percentage. I don't know, but that's what it seems like from what I'm seeing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, people are worried that it's being kind of used as like an aesthetic, and because it's an aesthetic now, people are driving children towards it who might be confused otherwise, right? And then end up drifting into it. Sure.
Yeah. And they can't go back. I mean, you know, it's going to be just as hard to go back, you know, if you do it for that many years at that age. So, I don't know. Yeah.
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 True.
What else is going on before I go get my coffee and start my grind? Diablo grind. Twitch stuff, absolutely stupid. We talked about that already. I don't know what the is going on there.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm just waiting for them to pull the plug on that Twitch Prime, and then we'll see what happens.
Oh no, when that, like, brother, like I have a feeling like he has that script, like Dan has that script in front of him.
And he's
and
just
right now
waiting
he's
to pull the trigger on it.
No, I think he's trying, like, I think in his head, which, you know, I've read his resume. It's an impressive one, or like relatively impressive, and like, you know, for people in the gaming space, and I just think he doesn't have enough. You know, I think everything he's doing maybe on paper for him looks right, you know, but implementation is not there at all, nor is, you know, what it looks like when it is implemented. It looks terrible. On top of that, I think he has that script of Twitch Prime leaving. I think it's in front of him. He's just figuring out how to navigate it, you know, and I think he's trying to find ways. I think why we can't understand why he's doing these stupid ass moves. There is a possibility where he's doing these things to keep Twitch Prime. Right, but he does.
I know what you
don't
mean,
think
but
so?
like, there's just no way any of these cuts or decisions are going to be the difference between keeping it or getting rid of it. I think.
Yeah, that's a massive blow. I mean, you know, I think just a year ago, I think maybe a year and a half year ago, it was a 5-year trajectory for Twitch Prime to be removed, and it went up to 1 to 2 years as of like 6 months ago. So that's like, if that happens, which I'm a strong believer that it will, and it sounds like you are as well, that's going to be very, very bad. Like, there is no curiosity of what's going to happen. A lot of shit is going to go down. I think one competing streaming platform will emerge from that, whether it be YouTube, you know, Kick, or wherever it is, right? I think one actual, like, I think when that happens, that's when you see a real solidified competitor, right? Not one that's kind of accepted by some and, you know, clowned on by others. I think that's when one real thing gets you know, does that make sense?
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, what happens? Yeah.
So how's Rumble? You been streaming over there still?
A little bit. I've been doing a lot of Kick this month, but I'll probably stream a little bit over there at the end of the month. Yeah, we'll see.
I don't want to put you on the spot or make you feel uncomfortable, so if you don't want to answer, no need to, but are there any things that Rumble has that you wish Kick had that I could, you know, go tell the dev team, implement it? Like, is there anything that they have that we don't, that you would like to see here? Would you answer that?
DVR is the really, really big one that everybody's grown to love.
What is DVR?
Ability to rewind, basically. Live feeds.
And that can be done live.
Yep. So like on YouTube, YouTube.
It's like YouTube, so you can click the live button, or you can rewind yourself and watch.
Yeah.
So that would require what, like a VOD capacity that's like in real time recording in a database where you can access. Okay, I mean, I don't know the show. I'll just patch to the devs. So DVR. Anything else?
I've heard a lot of people saying that the mobile app is a little bit too.
Yeah, that needs a lot of updates, which we're pushing through. Mobile app optimization. I've heard full screening on mobile app. I know subs are down right now. That should be fixed relatively soon. Console is coming by Q3 most likely. So console Q3. That's a maybe still though. Anything else, chat, that you really enjoy on Rumble?
People are saying notifications are kind of.
In what way? Like, are we talking you can't turn them off? When you do turn them off, they
I've
still
heard some
appear in
people
your
say that when they
emails?
go live, they get like a ton of notifications. I've seen that a few times.
Okay, so viewer notification, and this is viewer based, right? Like viewer side, the viewers get notifications when their streamer goes live.
Yeah.
Being spammed when they watch goes live. Okay, what else we got here? Anything else, chat? Smart TV app. Okay, smart TV app.
Oh yeah,
I'll
I
get
didn't
an
realize
answer.
how many people watched on TVs until I started doing Kick and Rumble. I don't think either have much going on for the TV app stuff right now.
Okay, TV app. Clips are. Can you elaborate on that? Like, are you referring that you want clips to be like what's it called when it opens on a new tab instead of opening on the same screen? Are you referring to just slow and laggy? You know, I'll just write clipped optimization, clips optimized, and then I'm sure you. Let me see what else you mean by that. There's not enough penis. Yeah. Listen. Let's see here. What's the best advice I can give you for that? Listen. When it comes to your boy stage, and I'm gonna assume you're a man. If you're not a man, I apologize for assuming. But you know, in your boy stage, you know that might affect you or your life in the boy stage. But as soon as you move on from that boy stage, which let me tell you is a very shallow, just disgusting stage. It's a very lonely, dark stage. Okay, it may be fun in the moment, but it's very lonely, dark, and terrible. Okay, so once you move past that, you'll realize your average size cock is perfectly fantastic. It works fine. And you just got, you got to learn how to really go in. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to, how to beat cheeks, right? Once you learn that, you'll realize you have just enough. Now, if you have a very small, I don't know what I can really tell you here, motivationally speaking. Just find someone who loves you for you, personality. And then, maybe you guys can get like a strap on, a dildo. Maybe you can still, maybe they can still ride your small dick. That's cool too. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But I think you just find someone who loves you for you. Anything else?
This guy spammed like 1,000,000 times tab complete on emotes.
Tab complete on emotes. Thank you. Tab complete on emotes. How about up arrow to type to re-enter last? How would you explain that? On Twitch where you up arrow and you can just keep typing the same thing you typed?
Yeah, I think you could call
arrow.
that tab complete probably.
Up arrow. The recent previous message, I'll just say that. The recent previous message. It's not even just on Twitch. I think it's on like multiple different like programs and platforms. Actually, let me try that. Mr. John Joe, that's actually a good point. Hey. Yeah, you're right. That's because of the slow mode, but that should be fixed as well. Okay. Let me put this in here, and I'm going to touch this up and send this in. Okay, anything? I'll do more asking later, chat, like in a week. But anything else? Rewind VODs, we got all that. Anything else, Destiny, about like topics, things that, let's see, what else? I feel like we've missed some juice. Maybe not. I think it was a good conversation today, to be honest.
No.
All right, brother. Well, I hope you've been well. I'll stop by, miss you, and hope everything's good with you, man.
Yeah. Have a good one. Be careful, buddy.
Well, I'll see you in Vancouver when I see you in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Hey, Train, what's up, dude? Destiny, thanks for outing me, bro.
I'm sorry, dude.
What's wrong with you?
Wanted to keep that a secret. I know your contract is at risk.
I know, dude. It was at risk.
Okay.
That
love
was
you,
a
Train.
joke, Train.
Yeah.
Damn, I wanted to make a joke. Damn, I wanted to make a joke. See, why am I scared to make a joke right there? Did you see that?
You shouldn't have been.
Yeah, you
I shouldn't be scared to make a joke there.
Just go hard, dude. Make the hardest joke.
You know what? I'm gonna make a joke right now. Well, Tabor, if what Destiny was saying was true, since your shoulders are so broad, I wonder if you can, broad. I wonder if you can fit maybe 4 titties on there. You know what I'm saying? Imagine that.
Okay.
Imagine that, bro. 4 nice, perfectly sculpted tits. Oh my God, bro! You better bet your ass. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
I'll bring you into the consultation with the plastic surgeon.
Thank you, brother. All right, later, guys.
Have fun, buddy.
Love you guys. Peace.
Peace up. Holy shit! All right, enjoy the stream. I just thought that was funny.
Jesus.
Okay, so
She's trying to please you.
so if I just go like this, if she's just laying there sleeping, right? And, this happened to me like a little bit ago. Is this bad? I don't want to try to be weird about it, but she was just sleeping. I got done like streaming and shit. Like this was like weeks ago, whatever. She was sleeping. I literally pulled down her pants, rubbed it on my shit, and just stuck it in. Like, is that bad? Be honest.
I love that shit, bro. I love that shit. In fact,
But look, before anyone says anything weird, she wanted me to do that beforehand. Like, she consented, like, yo, if I'm sleeping, just put it in type shit. You know what I'm saying?
I would hope it's consensual. And the fact
Duh,
that
she's in my bed for a reason. Yeah.
This is such a confusing story. So initially, Adin Ross is describing something commonly referred to as but then at the end, Adin is like, she consented beforehand. She told me to do it. But if that's the case, why the f are you asking somebody else if it's okay or not? If she already said it's okay, why the f are you asking somebody else if it's okay? Yeah, but then he also makes it sound like, well, she was in my bed, so it must have been okay. So then she makes it sound like it wasn't okay. He just assumed it was. Who the f knows? CNC can be seen as murky? How?